Brosplay!
Hey, welcome back. When I was 9, I audited my parents. There were some discrepancies.
What are you? So, we just figured out between episodes that we both watched separately The Other Guys recently.
No, it's been a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I love that movie.
Never mind. So there's nothing coincidental. Anyway, I just watched it for the, I don't know, second time, third time? Really fucking funny movie. Really understands pacing so well. It's so well paced, man. Comedies do this really bad thing. Most comedies do this thing where the jokes are like front loaded into the beginning of the film and then it stops being jokes not by the end. And it's probably because if you've ever noticed, like if you're watching like a stand-up comedian, you laugh a lot in the beginning and sort of kind of be worn out by the end and the jokes stop being as good. And I think that's them trying to put all the jokes in the beginning and then tell a story at the end. And I don't like that. So I don't like about a lot of comedies. This movie, oh boy, it's the sad booze. This movie perfectly balances out its jokes with its content. And I was so impressed by that.
I just think there's so many legendary lines in it too. Like anything you say can be used as a flotation device.
Oh yeah, which is it's a
so
classic.
many.
Like it's like a pretty classic move for the Miranda rights to be botched in a comedy about police, right? They did that in 22 Jump Street or 21 Jump Street.
Just
you have the right
it.
to remain an attorney, or to be an attorney.
You do have the right to be an attorney.
The fucking wooden gun joke, I was so impressed by. There's like
the running joke.
There's 4 jokes with that. So there's the desk pop, which on its own is hilarious, but also establishes who Will Ferrell's character is, as well as who the moron characters are. Then there's the wooden gun joke. Then there's the dude saying like, "Why do you have a wooden?" Like they're like weapons, and he's like, "Why is this a wooden gun?" And then it comes back varnished.
Varnished, yeah.
That's so fucking. I laughed so fucking hard at the varnish. It's like it appears they've returned it with some sort of like varnish on it. Like
it's nice.
The fucking joke about Will Ferrell's wife being Eva Longoria, and Mark like it's like, no, seriously, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Eva Mendes. This is the record.
Is it?
Yeah.
Who's Eva Longoria?
She's white. I don't actually know who she is, but I know that's not her.
Mixing up my Evas. Oh man, and then like Gator.
Good night, Sheila.
Yeah, you too. But also, good night, Sheila. Good night. You know, I need to take care of her if something happens to you. Why have we established this? I feel like this is a conversation I should have had with you.
Yeah, and then his app, Faceback.
Yes.
They used his Faceback app. No, it's
Faceback.
I thought it was Faceback. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, Faceback. That's how they caught the criminals.
Yeah.
Like they could only see the backs of their heads.
And it's a tiny little joke that they put into another scene that feels like it has no connection. And the fucking Christina scene.
Get my wife's name right.
You come into my fucking house and you get my wife's name wrong. It's Christina, you idiot.
Come back here and have sex with my wife. Oh my god, that movie. There's so many great Will Ferrell movies, like movies that just really kill you. Like Step Brothers is another good example. Anchorman's another good example. But there was something about that one where it hit the buddy cop rhythm perfect.
What's really weird about the movie is that it's not really about Ponzi schemes, even though that's like it's the trigger point, but the movie is really about the characters, right?
Yeah.
They even make a joke about how it's not as exciting as Mark Wahlberg thinks it is. He always thinks it's drugs.
Yeah, the Mexican cartel people. It's like, how do you know that?
That's right.
It must be assassins from the cartel. Jesus, man.
Man, imagine if you didn't shoot Derek Jeter. And then at the end of the movie, did you ever watch the infographic? Sorry.
I don't know.
There's a whole infographic at the end of the film that describes Ponzi schemes and the 2008 housing market crash and CEO bonuses versus like average wages and stuff like that. It's like someone really, really wanted to make a movie about Ponzi schemes and Wall Street, and then they just made a movie about buddy cops. It's really weird. Like it's like very, very detailed. It's talking about like percentages and ratios and values and all that shit. It's like someone really, really enjoyed that, but didn't make that movie.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm curious to see as to if there's any connection between that and The Big Short.
There's so much dirty money that went along with that whole 2008 financial collapse thing.
I don't know enough about it, but I did watch a documentary about shorts in the market. So I have like
shorts in the market?
Yeah, it's like betting against something.
Oh, okay. Well, what always bothers me is when people do a behavior and that is so obviously not sustainable at all, but they just don't think about it. Because that's what the whole 2008 thing was they were selling these mortgages to people who they knew were not reliable to pay it back.
Oh.
And then what they would do is, because they didn't want to be the ones that were owed, they would sell the mortgage to someone else. And they'd be like, all right, well, now this person owes you instead. So what happened was a whole bunch of people were thinking, oh, great, we've got these millions of dollars coming our way. And then suddenly no one could pay it back. And all of a sudden there's just like this huge gap in how much money there is.
And then here's the weird part about it. This is where capitalism becomes a real issue, is that you've got empty, boarded up homes and homeless people who aren't allowed to be in those homes.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
It feels like the system may be rigged.
I think it's just bad. I don't think it's rigged. I think it's just not good.
Oh, this is the snake.
The snake?
Oh no, never mind. That's Mario 3D World.
I thought
there's a casino level in Mario 3D World.
I don't know if I know Mario 3D World.
We'll play it. Relax. You know what we should do? We should play it next time.
Ooh, I would be interested in that. Does that come between this and Odyssey?
It's definitely between, but it's not like a Mario solo game. What's that? Is he supposed to eat it?
Yeah, it's supposed to do that. I don't know what happened the first time.
Seems like we don't need to know that, man. He's on fire. Now he's crying. We know he doesn't like spicy things, bro. Fucking flued. More like fucking rude.
So rude.
More like got a lot of attitude. More like you can help me out here.
No, you're done. You're done. Give up there.
It's over.
Attitude flued.
Those guys are charred now.
Yeah, they're not gonna reignite though. I was kind of hoping they would, like the tickers when you knock them over.
Yeah, how do they do that? How do they start up on fire again?
I'm assuming their insides are just made out of flammable material.
So they actually want to explode on people?
Tickers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kamikazes.
Wow.
Talking about Gears of War, by the way.
Well, kamikaze is like the term. It's kind of like Ponzi scheme started with a guy named I don't know, John Ponzi.
Something like that, yeah.
Henry Ponzi. Kamikaze means like, I think it's Japanese for like the wind or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't mean suicide. They were a division called the Kamikaze, who pulled. Also, bonsai. I forget what bonsai means. It's something like honor or for Japan or something. Which is where like the trope of them yelling bonsai at first comes from. But they used to yell bonsai before they did their bayonet charges, I think.
Really?
Yeah. We're fucking back to World War II again. You know what? It comes up naturally in life, all right?
I think you just watch so much World War II shit that it always comes up.
Well, I'm fascinated by fucked up reality.
Well, that's good. Is it not? Better to be fascinated than horrified.
Well, I'm not. I'm fascinated because I feel like I can learn something from it, and I feel like we can all learn something from it.
Hopefully not repeat it.
Oh no, we're definitely gonna repeat it. We can't help ourselves.
Yeah, I know. What's just gonna be weird for us is seeing what the next phase of warfare is like.
It'll be robots.
I don't even know if it's gonna be physical.
Oh, you mean
there's
digital?
no real proof that it's
like,
gonna be
like
physical. Yeah, exactly. It'll be something more along the lines of like, you know, look at Mr. Robot. Like, look what happened in that. Imagine if instead of a couple of angsty teens. It was actually done by a foreign power.
What if your way of warring against another country is not with battle? Because if you want to take over a country, you don't want to also blow it up. So what if you cripple them and basically make them have to come to you and take money from you, and then you become their superpower, right?
Yep. Or you even, oh Jesus. I don't understand why this guy's being so difficult. Why I've had to throw peppers at him twice, both times.
Yeah, this is normally smoother, right?
Yeah, I don't really understand what's going on.
This is a pretty good example of a fixed camera angle.
Yeah, this one works pretty well.
That is so weird that there's like an interlacing issue, which may not actually show up on the final capture, but like it's like a vertical interlaced issue, which is normally horizontal on the edges of things. I don't know how to fix it.
I don't know if it's your job.
I'm only one man. Not
Yeah,
that anybody
this is
thought
bothering me too.
Not that anyone thought I was more than one man.
Just got him wet. There we go. Yeah, and I'm not sure why this is being so difficult. I really am not. I've done this level many times.
Look how fucking saliva-y his mouth is.
Yeah, he's kind of a dirty dude.
Big Boo, the dirty dude.
Yeah, that's him.
Big Boo.
How did you know?
The head of poo.
Well, probably not. It's kind of rude.
He's a poo head.
Nah, it's kind of rude,
He's
bro.
a doo-doo head.
He's a doo-doo head?
Yeah.
Okay, these things are really starting to piss me off now.
You're doing like backflips while yelling happy things, but the guy controlling him is unhappy. It's very contrasting, conflicting, really.
All right, let's get some fruit.
Which reminds me of Gamer. Remember that? Michael C. Hall, the guy who plays Dexter, as the bad guy.
Oh yeah.
I've got you under my spell, or I've got string. I forget how it goes. He sings a song of like having him under his control.
Yeah, like you're on.
Because he's got things in his head that send signals, and then Gerard Butler has things that.
He's about to go back anyways.
Ineffective. Fluid's such an asshole.
Yeah, this is really pissing me off.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's happening to those peppers. And it's not like a glitch. The game wouldn't be functioning. I think they're just what do you call it? The
hitbox?
area? Yeah, the hitbox is just bad. I think I have to hit it right on his tongue.
I think you shouldn't jump.
Oh, you think I should just throw it?
Yeah, I think you're hitting him in the forehead.
But I don't think you can. I don't know if you can throw it from standing.
Try it.
What are these?
Bubbles? Look at that. Took a bath of bubbles, and now bubbles are here to help with the growing hostilities.
Okay.
That's hot.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Okay, this is. All right.
It's kind of nice that you're taking a turn to be mad about video games. Because I'm getting away from it. I'm not interested in being upset about video games anymore. I used to enjoy it as a defining feature of my contribution here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But now I would prefer to be happy. Like Pharrell.
Yeah, I don't want to be happy like that.
Yeah, he's like obnoxiously happy.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like, clap along if you feel.
Like the song is not for you.
Clap along if you feel the last car on a train is caboose.
All right, I'll clap to that. Gladly clap to that.
Clap along if you feel like throwing hot stuff at Boo.
I do. I truly do. Let's get some goddamn peppers up in this.
Clap along if you feel electricity is not for you, because I'm zappy.
Clap along if you feel like it's time for fruit. Okay, that worked.
It's a papaya type thing.
Okay, maybe you're right. Jumping is not effective.
It is when lasers come at you from the floor.
Lasers! Lasers from the floor.
I was just watching a great VFX artists react on Corridor, and one of the scenes was from Resident Evil, the laser scene. And you remember that? There's a hallway, and these lasers come out and just start cutting dudes in half.
Oh yeah, and the one guy thinks he's clever until he gets turned into a shish kebab.
Yeah, well, the one guy jumps, and the laser like goes up with him, and it just like cuts him in half anyway.
Well, and then the other guy like thinks he's clever. He manages to avoid the laser, so it turns into a grid.
Yeah,
just crisscrosses him.
And the grid shot is the one that they were looking at, and it cuts him right through, and then there's this close up, and his eye is leaking into another part of his eye. And if they hadn't included the reflective shot of his bits turning into, or his body turning into bits, it would have been a really good shot. But it's really corny.
Oh, him turning into bits?
Yeah. But the shot of him just like sliding apart is really cool. It's unfortunately they added the reflection of his body turning into like little giblets, and it looks really like PS2.
It's so gross the way you describe them as giblets.
Yeah.
Just little person giblets.
I think that's how it was described in my cat's wet food. It was like giblets of chicken.
That is exactly why I'm telling you it's gross.
I just got him some wet food that I swear it's like it's almost human food. It's like so close to human food. You just package it differently, and recommend that you warm it up first.
Is it tuna?
It's like creamy stuff and with chickens and beef and cheddar sauce. Fuck, he was so excited about it. I just like laid down beside him and watched him eat. I've never seen him
can they
so.
eat cheese?
I guess so.
I didn't know they could eat cheese.
It's probably not cheese.
It's not cheese?
It's probably not actually. No, I don't know if they could do dairy very well.
Yeah, I don't think they could do dairy.
But trust me, on this point, I would be very aware if it was not good for his digestive system.
Yeah, you would be told immediately.
Yeah. He's a pretty smart cat. Like, there's some times where like he's had some weird poopies, and he's like brought me over to his litter box, and he didn't cover it up, and I'm like, my goodness.
So he knows that that's not good.
Like, you are way smarter than anybody will give you credit, and I think you know that. I think you're fucking.
Which is crazy, because then you listen to Tom Segura's story where he's had like violent diarrhea his whole life.
Didn't know.
He never knew that was an issue until his wife was just like, "What the hell?"
Well, that's sort of like I didn't realize that, like that I was that I had like chronic anxiety and like some pretty extreme obsessive compulsive behavior until someone described it. I just thought it was me.
Right, you just thought that's how you were.
That's just Mitch. Mitch does that.
Yeah, it's easy to convince yourself of that.
Yeah, which is why they say that a child educated only in school is an uneducated child.
Big time.
That you need to teach kids about life as well. School is about things you can apply to life.
Well, also, school is things we all agree on. You got to teach your kids those things that we don't agree on.
It's convention. That's like a widely agreed upon standard is what we call convention.
Right. Oh, okay.
Which is why I thought it was funny. I saw an advertisement for a university that said was like be unconventional. No, that's not what that means.
Well, there's a big push towards stuff that isn't even real these days. You know, like when you talk about grievance studies and like a lot of the other things that are starting to go on. Yeah, grievance.
What is that?
So like gender studies is considered a grievance study.
Grievance.
The idea is that they spend more time studying the things that they feel grieved by than they do the things that really matter. Like that's where that term comes from.
Oh, grievance is actually a derogatory expression.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So you're saying like, you know, you're studying the art of other people grieving you, which is not a science.
He caused me grievance.
Right?
He must die.
So do you know who Peter Boghossian is?
I think I've eaten that before.
So Peter Boghossian and this guy named James Lindsay decided that they were going to basically
trust a man with two first names, especially if one of them's a female name.
Hey,
although
Lindsay can be a dude name.
I guess it would be a grievance study to figure out whether Lindsay is a female name, right?
So these guys decided.
Do you know how many fucking times it took the Game Grumps to do this level?
It's really not that hard.
Anyway, go. Sorry.
Aaron, Danny, it's not that hard.
Well, it's like 5 years ago. It's 5 years ago.
Aaron,
it's really not.
Danny's not playing.
I mean, it would be a grievance to go ahead and tell them that 5 years ago they didn't do this very well.
So anyways, these guys decided that they were going to just sort of dip their toes into the grievance study world. So they started writing academic articles for this community, for this community of people that basically doesn't have any sort of rigid standards. So what would happen is they would write, like they wrote this article about how because his dog didn't want, wasn't interested in sniffing the asses of the other male dogs, like it was homophobic.
Oh my goodness.
They wrote this article where all they did was take Mein Kampf, the Hitler's book, and everywhere it said Jew, they put man. But but otherwise, they just put it out there straight up.
Oh no!
And not only was it published, a few of their articles were actually put up for awards.
Would that be called? Did they call that one Man Kampf?
That would have been pretty good.
Which would translate into man struggle.
Yeah, that's funny.
We're back to Hitler again.
Yeah,
there's 3 in a row. We went for the Hitler trip.
And so when they revealed
the tripler.
Yeah, the tripler.
Yeah,
nice.
That's good. You should definitely. It's definitely not dangerous to come up with catchy jokes about genocidal maniacs.
No, it's not dangerous at all.
Why would that be dangerous?
Yeah, no, never. Well, and then so they revealed that they did this, and everyone was mad at them, and they said, "Well, why? Like if you peer reviewed the articles, then they're good articles."
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And so now people are trying to go through and like trying to get rid of the articles they wrote, but they said, "What's the difference between an article I wrote in a disingenuous way and an article you wrote in a genuine way?" Right? Like it's the same.
It's like a sarcastic video that everyone thinks is serious.
Yeah, I think so. That's a good way to put it. And so yeah, people were just so mad at them, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, and that's right in line with the type of people who would allow something like that, who would agree with something until they found out it was actually a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
So is it? So exactly what are you saying, that your perception is off, or that it's only okay to be grieved legitimately?
Right. And so then what they were trying to do is they were trying to get them kicked out of school for academic dishonesty because they're writing these reports that they don't believe in. But apparently they based most of them off of like actual quote unquote research that they did.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, who did that? Someone did something like that. Fuck. I think they there was a famous example of something like that happening, where somebody kept putting in like fake song lyrics or something. I wish I could remember what I was talking about, but I remember being very similar to that.
And then once it was discovered, like people,
where they had been like, this is so weird to like describe something I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would know.
But like, it sounds so familiar, of like someone who basically trolled people for the longest time, and then they eventually realized it. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering you telling me this story. I don't know.
It could be. It could be, because this was a huge story when it first came out, and it's I think still a big part of the debate that is currently going on, because there's just a lot of people that are saying, how is it possible that we're putting funding towards this?
Right.
You know, like this. You published and awarded an article about a dog being homophobic because it didn't want to smell other male dogs' asses. Like you're insane.
Yeah.
Right? And then it just goes from there. And you have to imagine what it's like being an actual academic, right?
And I think it's really interesting, though, that the conversation about gender is very telling of our species and our society. That some people are upset that it's a conversation. Like that to me is very telling. That people are like, no, it's not a discussion. It's like, it is a discussion.
Yes.
Let's discuss it.
If you can't discuss it, then it's dictatorship.
Sure. Or censorship, whatever.
Right. But either way, it's authoritarianism.
Do you have to hit the X's?
No, those give you blue coins.
Oh, the red X's give you blue coins.
Yes, they do.
That's
keep up, brother.
I'm sorry, I'm a man. I don't have
I don't have those faculties. Yeah. The thing that always bothers me about the whole gender argument is anybody who just wildly, openly insults the other gender, because you need those people. That's half the people.
Yeah.
You can't just get this half of the people on board and then assume the other half will fall in line.
That is so awkward when you don't realize what you're like starting somebody on a conversation for, where someone's just like, this person did something wrong, and I'm like, yeah, I hate it when that happens, and they're like, fucking cunts, right? And I'm like, no. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I also think that most of the insults should not be gender specific. I would never use that term to be a female describing term. I think that's totally wrong. I also met a lot of cunty men and a lot of complete bastard women, if it makes anybody feel better. Not that it would.
Not that it will, but yeah.
I mean, there's already people clacking away at this conversation because they're mad that we're talking about it. So
yeah, that's a weird one. Like, no, don't talk about it. Well, then what are we supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
What are we supposed to do?
And the conversation also, I think it's interesting to start to define exactly what is gender and whether it's even important.
In a lot of ways, it's not.
If someone can be fluid, and we're not worried about bathrooms, and we don't care about what we put on our license plates. Or our license, our licenses.
Imagine you had to put that on your license plate.
But then, if none of that matters, then why are we even talking about it?
Yeah.
Why not just get rid of the entire thing?
Because the only reason is science and statistics. So like,
sure.
You know, women tend to do better when they have this type of supplement, or you know, men tend to do better when they're in a role
and
like
at that
this.
point, maybe we just need to change things around. Maybe we need to have new names for stuff. And for me, man is not a defining element of myself. It's not something that I would want you to. If you had to know one thing, it's not that I'm a man. It is an element, but it's not the part that I want you to make sure that you remember of all of the things. Right? It's like, it's who I am, it's my contribution, it's the things that I do and say to people. So for me, it's not important enough to make sure you know. Gotta know that I'm a man.
Right. To you, it's just, I also think for you and I, like, no offense, but we're not particularly manly men.
Sure.
Like,
we're
males, but we're not like men. Strong men.
I am regularly questioned on my desires and orientations.
Really?
Yeah.
Still?
Oh yeah, dude. A friend of mine the other day said something about me being interested in dudes, and
he wasn't like jeering you.
He might have been. But I started this new thing where when someone does that to me, I try to make it as shocking, as embarrassing as possible by saying, no, I'm actually really into pussy. Or you hesitate. You're like, it's good that you ask, but I'm actually into the puss. Heard of it?
Yes, it's an important thing.
You ever heard of it?
The puss.
The vertical seafood taco.
La pousse.
The jam clam.
The jam clam. The vertical seafood taco. I've never heard that.
You haven't seen Sexual Lobster's vertical seafood taco?
Never ever heard that before.
You say it might smell fishy and looks unpleasantly squishy, but it tastes alright to me.
That Sexual Lobster guy is
Whoa,
hilarious.
whoa. That fucking guy is so funny.
His name is just so perfect.
He couldn't change it back, eh? He changed his name to Greasy Tails as a joke, and then it wouldn't let him put it back. Because it's against the community guidelines.
To say sexual,
yeah.
Oh, because the L is there. That's right.
Yeah. So they weren't gonna make him change it, but you can't make it. Sorry. Yeah. They weren't gonna make him change it from Sexual Lobster, but
when he changed it on his own, he sealed his own fate.
Yeah.
Well, that's tough.
Yeah. So
but he should have known that.
I still call him Sexual Lobster.
Like in some ways, he should have known changing his name temporarily was a bad choice.
Probably.
Yeah, that's just a bad choice.
I've shown you parody, right?
I don't think so.
It's like a song he's singing, but it's like contrived, intentionally contrived. So it's just like, I'm gonna make it parody. First I'm gonna take a character in someone life. Let's go with Mario. No, let's go with Pikachu.
Oh, Jesus.
It's just a part where it's just like, now let's give them breasts, but cover them up because YouTube was run by Puritans or something.
Puritanical bureaucrats.
It's just like, and then I'll be consumed by bitterness.
Oh, I'm okay to be consumed by bitterness.
He's hilarious.
All right, thank you for joining us. Next time we might get to Bowser.
Wow.
Next time
Wowzer.
Wowzer.